friends, welcome back. This is the chapter 7 where we are going to look how to create the Docker image of our Spring Boot application. In my last lecture, I discussed on Docker file, what is the Docker file is and how Docker is read the instruction from Docker file and create the Docker image for us. Okay, if you are the new to this channel, so I request you to go and watch my previous videos, then only you get the better understanding of this. So let's start. First we create the Spring Boot application and then we create the Docker image of our Spring Boot application, and finally we push the created image onto the Docker Hub. So let's create first Spring Boot application. File, new, Spring Startup project. Here the application name, I give name Docker app. Click on next. Select only one dependency, Spring Web. Click on next and finish. Add one controller here. Make it as REST controller. Add one endpoint. @get mapping, and you can access these by using /any_name data. Okay, so our application is ready. Now in last lecture we have discussed how Docker create the Docker image. Okay, so Docker read the instructions from Docker file and create the image. Okay, it means we need to add the Docker file in our application. So right click in project and add Docker file. D is always capital. Okay, finish. Now we need to add the instruction in Docker file so that Docker read this instruction from Docker file and create the Docker image of our application. So in last lecture we discussed about this instruction, what is the meaning of from, what is the expose, add and entry point. Okay, so here app.jar, so let's go to the pom.xml and add one tag, final name. Okay, final name is Docker app. Okay, Docker app. Okay, it means when I build my application, so jar is created under target folder with the name Docker app. So go to the Docker file and change here and write Docker app. Okay, here you can give any name. Okay, so I give Docker app img something to differentiate. Okay, so inside Docker image the jar name is Docker img, and you need to tell the Docker boss start the application from this jar. Okay, that's it. So we have created Docker file and we write the some instruction. Now the Docker read this instruction and created the Docker image for us. So let's first build the application. Right click, run as, maven build, clean, install. Okay, so inside target folder Docker app.jar is created. Okay, Docker app.jar. So I add this Docker app.jar in Docker image with the name Docker app img. Right? Let's open the command prompt. First we check the existing images present in our local system. Docker images. Okay, so currently there is no local images present in our system. So let's create the Docker image of our application. Docker build. Okay, With this command we can create the Docker image of our application. Here we need to pass the path of Docker file. In last lecture we have discussed Docker read the instruction from Docker file and create the Docker image. Okay, so that's why we need to pass the path of Docker file. So here is our Docker file, so copy this path and paste here. So with this command Docker enter into this directory. Okay, Docker enter into this directory and read this Docker file instruction and creates the Docker image for us. Press enter. Okay, so now check Docker images. Here Docker image is created. Now assign some name to our Docker image. So Docker tag image name and Spring Boot app img. This name I want to give to this image. Okay, colon, I want to give some tag latest. Okay, press enter. Docker images. Okay, now you can see that here this is your image ID and this is your image name. Now let's run the application. Docker run. Here your Spring Boot application is up and running on port number 8080. So now open the web browser and type localhost colon 8080/data. Oops, we are not getting any response from the server. So open terminal. Okay, so Docker images. Okay, so now run the application on some different port number. Docker run -p. Now I want to expose the default port number onto some another port number. For example, 1990:8080. So this 8080 port number is my default port number which I assign to my application. Now I want to expose this port number to some another port number. Okay, and this is my application, means image. Enter. Now your application is running on port number 8080, but you expose it on port number 1990. So go to the browser and instead of 8080 just type 1990. Okay, here is the response.